Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Hanna. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite groups, camps, organizations, no Christian churches, no Catholic churches, no Muslim mosques. uh, with that being said, I don't have a reader today, so I'm going to hold this class down by myself. I am Officer of 500 Azan Yala, holding down this Brotherhood class for today. Today's main articles and subjects I want to go over is basically this 14-year-old native girl who resided in Arizona, and they found her dismembered. We also got G Money LIL Ronnie. I guess something happened with him. I got the article and the clip for that. And if we got any other time, then I'll go ahead and go into some other articles. But this is Brotherhood class, so anytime that we are going through these articles, remember that it's never trying to put anybody down. It's more as trying to learn from others' mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like parents, we always tell our children, you want to learn from our mistakes. You don't want to go ahead and repeat that trend. So, moving forward, anytime you hear me speak of anything in particular, know that I'm speaking of something that I don't want us to retain and do over and over and over again repetitively. So that's my brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? To show people where, we kind of failed at and where we can actually move forward and do better, and cause less mistakes moving forward on behalf of ourselves, our family, our friends around us, and not only that, but our community. With that being said, we have to take a lot of accountability for how our neighborhoods are being destroyed right now. It's not like it's a small thing. We have to take full accountability. Even myself, being from the tribe of Ephraim, which is the Puerto Ricans and stuff, and on behalf of all the Hispanics, you know what I'm saying, I will say that I also at one particular time back then played a major part in doing my own matter of horrible things, which means is moving forward, as soon as you know that you're doing something wrong, and you hear from the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, once you know you're doing something wrong, move forward and do better. Show the people around you how good of a person you became, how much you changed, how much you want to inspire others around you to not do the same things. And it comes down to where we're a community, and we got to stop being so arrogant and very hard-headed to where we don't want to listen to one another. We should be taking counsel amongst each other, because really we're all not, well, we're in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we shedded ourselves of them demons in that world. But if we're doing it, and you remember the type of person we were, you should be trying to come in here and try to ask as many questions as possible, and hear our answers and see how different it is compared from the Christian and Catholic churches and the Islam mosque, and show how that we're trying to tell you, like, moving forward, you don't have to be this type of person. You don't have to do these things that the Lord requires you to be a decent person, a decent human being, not only to yourself, but to your community, the people around you, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives. We are supposed to be together as one, learning as one, conducting ourselves as one. Yeah, there's a lot of heathens out there and stuff. Cool. They have their society. They have their own world. They have their own basic understanding of how they want to live. Let them go ahead and do that. We have to learn how to build amongst each other, Stop being so stubborn, arrogant, hard-headed, and really try to grasp the information that a lot of our brothers are trying to put out there. You know, we're building this, we're we're building this stuff up without no government help. We're doing this stuff off the hard work that we do at our labors, at our slaves, and we really try to do good by our communities. You know, Hispanics are worrying about blacks now. Blacks are worrying about Hispanics, and then the natives who are on these reservations locked down. You know what I'm saying? We need to go ahead and get them. We need to go ahead and grab them and bring them in. We're the type of people that we are really destroyed right now, and we really need each other to lean on, but not in a bad way. We need each other to lean on to do good, to count on each other, to build an infrastructure. So with that being said, you know, in our hoods we see all manner of wickedness, all manner of crazy things going on. So let's try to change that trend. You know, if we wasn't raised right, let's try to go ahead and change what the people before us did wrong. Whether it be our parents, whether it be our grandparents, whether it be our aunts, uncles, you know, let's try to move forward in a better trend, in a better way. The first scripture I'm going to bring out, let me see if I can bring it up real quick. All right, so this will be Deuteronomy 14:2. If you get a chance, definitely follow along, so that way you're participating. If you want, you can take notes. You know, but this ain't the Christian churches to where we just say things and it's like meaningless. Everything we say in here is very, very, very important with context attached to it. That's why, you know, the Israelites, the ISBK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, has been doing so good because we're able to tell the truth. That's why we're the only ones who can stamp ourselves with the home of the truth. So with that being said, you have to understand, if there's questions out there, you can always reach out to us and ask us questions. We don't care if you're in the Christian church, the Catholic church, Islam mosque. If you come with respect, just ask these questions. Your salvation is really at risk. You know, your seat next to the Most High in Christ, you know what I'm saying, is at risk. That should mean more than you than the skin that you bear. Let me see if I go ahead and bring this up so I can put this on the screen. All right. Bear with me 1 second. All right, let me see. See if I can blow it up a little bit. All right. Hold on 1 second. So this Deuteronomy, chapter 14 and verse 2. In fact, I'll start at verse 1. Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 1. Ye are the children of the Lord your God. See, when it's talking about ye, it's just talking about you in particular, a particular group. Ye are the children of the Lord your God. Your God means just yours in particular. It don't mean everybody on earth. It would have said it. The Bible is very explicit with who it's talking to and who it's expressing its gratitude for, or who is it talking to as a particular group of people. Ye shall not cut yourselves nor make any borders between your eyes for the dead. For thou art an holy people. Holy, just for thou art an holy. Holy right there just means separate. That you are just in a separate group of people unto the Lord thy God. And the Lord had chosen thee to be a peculiar people, to be a different type of people that are on the face of. Let me start again. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord had chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself. So he made us a different type of people just unto himself. He's selfish. He's like, I made you special. I need you to be different than these Asians over here, which eat cat, dog, lizards, shark. I want you to be different than the Arabs who, like to, you know, do all type of crazy things and suicide bombings, and there are different type of people. Even with the whites, saying, you're peculiar people that are different than them. Saying you're actually a more humble, a more graceful group of people, which are the blacks, Hispanics, and natives. That's how we gotta see ourselves, that we are peculiar people, that we are special people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. You see how he go ahead and make it even more clear? Because he didn't just say that you're just a peculiar people unto himself. He also had to state the reference of above all the nations that are upon the earth. So no matter who are outside of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and native tribes, you are above all of them. Even though we're at the worst predicament right now because of our disobedience to the Most High, even though we're at the lowest level right now, we basically did it to ourselves. The Lord is the Most High in Christ is not going to go ahead and bless you if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So if you're eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, you're being an adulterer, you're shaving your beards all bareface and stuff. If you're in the LGBTQ, all that stuff right there, the Lord ain't with that stuff. So he has to go ahead and put you, lower in society to teach you a lesson. That's what a parent does. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing something wrong, you got to get a spanking. And basically what happens is we're getting judged not as an individual, we're getting judged as a nation. So if the so-called blacks are doing something wrong, we all get punished as Hispanics and natives. If the Hispanics are doing something wrong, the blacks and natives are getting it. If the natives are doing something wrong, the blacks and the Hispanics, we all go under the same umbrella. So which means is if one of us of our tribes is doing something wrong, we're all going to get penalized. That's why we always say that if you have a chance to ask us questions, if we're at your disposal, and we've been teaching the truth for a long time. We don't go out there and preach, we teach. These Christian churches and these Catholic churches, they want to preach to you. They want to tell you good things. They want to sell you a dream. Over here in the ISUK, we don't sell you no dream. We want to gain the Most High's favor. So we are not going to lie to you. We're not going to tell you that as soon as you walk away, it's okay to go ahead and smoke that square. It's okay to go ahead and sell them drugs in your community. We're not going to say that. And then we're going to go ahead and forbid you ever do that moving forward. So, with us here in ISUK, we're trying to build our nations up the way it is supposed to be. But we can't do that without participation. Participation comes from, if I'm in Chicago right now, that means if anybody in the Chicago land hears of the ISBK, you should be coming to us and asking us any type of questions in a humane manner. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to get arrogant. You got to go get mean about it. You know what I'm saying? We understand you have Christian beliefs, Catholic beliefs. We all had that before. But out of brotherhood, out of sisterhood, if you are a black, Hispanic, and native, you come to us and stuff, come to us with the honor that we deserve, and we will treat you with that honor in return. But with that being said, you're not going to always hear what you want to hear. So you got to go ahead and take, the questions you're giving us, and when we answer them, you got to go ahead and evaluate that from everything you've been taught previously. That makes all the difference in the world. So if, saying, you're like, how come I can't eat pork? And we tell you exactly why you can't eat pork. And saying, it's just, the Lord says you can't. Then you cannot put yourself in a position to where you make yourself above the Most High. Because if you do it as a black, Hispanic, native, we all are going to get penalized because you want to be a hard-headed moron, because you want to be a dum-dum. And and that's not cool. So anything that the Lord requires you to do, man, just do it. You know what I'm saying? You abide by the white man's laws all the time. You know, he tells you to stop at the stop sign. You're gonna stop at the stop sign. He tells you stop at that stoplight. You're gonna stop at that stoplight. If you're speeding, he's gonna stop you, give you a fat ticket, and you're gonna have to pay it. So he could penalize you, but you're saying that the Lord, who you don't see, can't penalize you. That's an issue. Now, moving forward, I do want to get into this 14-year-old native girl because it was a real disturbing. It was a real disturbing article about her because when we think about our kids, saying they're only 14 years old and stuff, they're still learning themselves, they're still trying to figure out life and all that. It's a major blow to the community that we can see that things could happen to us and our children, and nobody cares. Nobody comes to the defense of us. So when nobody's coming to the defense of us, that's when we got to go ahead and ride out and do it ourselves. That means all you Black, Hispanic, and Native men got to come together and get on the same accord. You know what I'm saying? Get on the same page. Try not to diminish each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if we're telling you, we got to come together so that way we can be stronger together, that's not a bad thing. That means humble yourself down and let's get this right. Nobody's trying to go ahead and force you to do anything. But if we have a reasoning of why we should do this and it'll work out better for us, that's what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? Listen to the matter before you just start going all crazy. We have a community full of drug addicts, alcoholics, whores, slut makers. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a community of just straight deviants, and we really have to get to the point to where when is enough enough? We can't build up Black, Hispanics, and Native off of sinful errors. You can't do that. That's why these Christian and Catholic churches, they failed, because they're telling you all day long what the Lord tells you not to do, which is to not be a sinful piece of garbage. And a lot of times when you go to these Christian and Catholic churches, they allow it. Oh yeah, the Lord will still forgive you. Don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? You just keep praying on it. It's gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? They're telling you all manner of things that are coming out their mouth that is not of the Most High and Christ. And and we all been there. Everybody in the school, you know what I'm saying, have been there, where we was in them Christian churches and Catholic churches, and we weren't hold to our accountability to the Most High in Christ. And we were being in them churches, we were being disloyal to the Most High. And that's got to be the worst feeling, to know that the Most High is looking at you and like, man, I created you to be something so special, and you are down there just being a complete piece of garbage when I made you just so great and so wise and so special. Everybody wants to be like us. Everybody wants to dance like a Spanish, Puerto Rican, or Hispanic person. Everybody want to, eat their foods like a Hispanic person, because we got the best seasonings and stuff. We just got that vibe about us. Blacks are very inspiring all day. You know what I'm saying? They put out the best music. You know what I'm saying? The way we wear our clothes and everything. You know what I'm saying? We're inspiring all throughout the globe, but still we're at the bottom of the barrel, because the Lord's going to keep us there, because we don't know how to listen. We don't know how to do the right thing. Even when we know how to do the right thing, even when somebody tells us to do the right thing, the individual will look back at that person and be like, I'm going to do what I want to do. You can't stop me. And that's the worst thing you can do for yourself and for your family. You know what I'm saying? That means you're not trying to make any type of changes to your life that's going to better yourself. So let me go ahead and get into this article, because it was real heavy, real heavy. So let me scroll a little down. I think there's the video right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. And like I said, if yeah, I'll read the video. I'll play the video before I'll play the video before I read the article. But this is the young girl right here. Imagine this could be anybody's daughter right now. 14 years old, didn't even had a chance to grow up and even live life. And basically, what I'm saying, her life was taken from her. You know what I'm saying? It's a horrible thing. Here's her another picture of her again. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Look at her. She looked like she just wants to have fun and have a snowball fight or something like that. Look at, I'm saying, hanging out in the restaurant and stuff. This little girl had a long life to live, and it was cut short. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video real quick, and then we'll move forward. Hey, Slack, everybody, it kicked me out, so don't even trip. I'm gonna go ahead and play this video that we just presented. Sometimes the Wi-Fi here is horrible, so let me go ahead and get it. Yeah, this one. I'll bring it up right now. Yeah, this internet is horrible. All right, so I'm gonna start playing the video right now.
Step 5, we now know the identity of a teenage girl whose remains were found off the US 60 northeast of Globe.
The girl's family tells us she went missing from a group home in Mesa at the end of Boy, that's a tough conversation to have.
It was maybe even worse than usual just because of how grotesque this crime is. It is horrible. The teenager's name is Emily Pike, 14 years old. Her mother told me she got the news just yesterday. She wants to know what happened between the phone, her daughter was hoping to go to college and pursue her love of art. That all changed in late January.
Your case manager finally came a week later.
Area off Highway 60 past Globe. According to detectives, Emily's torso and head were in.
All right, I apologize. I don't know if my internet is that bad or something like that, but I hope everybody heard the video. But I'm going to go ahead and read the report. Okay. Let me see. 1 second. I'll bring up the report so that way you can follow along with it. Hopefully it don't lag, but that was the video. Can only do so much with that. Let me see if it got brought up. Okay, so everybody can follow along. Okay, this is from Tuesday, 6 p.m. This is dailymail.com. Horrifying update in case of teenage girl who went missing in Arizona. Carlo Apache tribe disappeared on January 27, sparking a multi-agency search. Grim news then came on Valentine's Day when remains of an unidentified female were found by police in a wooded area. Of the remains, police confirmed her disappearance. Her body was disposed and head in one bag. Emily was living in a group home before she disappeared. Anika Robinson, a foster care advocate who knew the teen, gave a devastating theory to local news outlet Arizona Family. I can only imagine the fact that her hands and arms haven't been found is because she was beaten up and hurting her attacker. Robinson said, nearly in tears. I think all of us were shocked that was her demise. I know that her staff and the girls in her home are suffering greatly because of it, she added. Now they got a picture of her right there, just chilling, eating breakfast and stuff. Emily Pike was found dismembered after authorities searched for a month. There's another picture of. Okay, let's move down. Emily was living in a group home in Mesa, but her family lives on the San Carlos Apache in the Indian reservation. Robinson said, Emily, any child who has been placed outside of their home and wishes to return home, we see this so often where they are fleeing. They are leaving. They want some sense of independence. Her mother, Stephanie Docella, said that she was notified of her daughter's disappearance by her case manager a week after she went missing. Docella described her daughter as a very happy and kind person who loved painting and aspired to study in art in college. Hundreds of questions remain over what happened to Emily in the months she was missing. Why did it go that far? She was just an innocent. She was a baby. It's pain that I hope no other mother would go through, Docella said in a phone interview with Arizona Family. You'll never be forgotten. I love you until we meet again. Rest in peace, she said in a phone interview with the local outlet. Emily's family has set up a GoFundMe to raise money for the teen's funeral. Emily left her family so tragically. Only Lord knows the hardships coming their way, the description read. You know what I'm saying? That's horrible. It's horrible. Read a little further down. Foster care advocates will honor Emily on Sunday morning by placing yellow ribbons where she was last seen alive. Docella said the authorities came to her home for a DNA test to help identify her daughter. Her mother added that police said they had 3 suspects, but didn't reveal their identities. Emily's death was ruled a homicide, and the case is being investigated by the Gila County Sheriff's Office with help from Bureau of Indian Affairs and the San Carlos Apache Tribal Police. Authorities haven't named suspects in the case and are encouraging the public to come forward with information that may lead to finding Emily's killer. Potential witnesses to help police. Somebody had to have seen something, right? Someone had to have seen her face, had to have seen her yelling, had to have observed someone who did. Robinson told Arizona Family. Emily's tragic and gruesome death further illustrates the horrors facing indigenous women. This is where it gets a little bit more, horrible. This is the bag right here. Emily's remains were found dismembered in a trash bag on the side of the local highway. It's horrible for a 14-year-old girl ever had to go through this type of brutality. You know what I'm saying? Then if I go down a little bit more, murdered 10 times more than other ethnicities. That just tells you right there, no matter if you're a Black, Hispanic, or you know what I'm saying, any other race, you know what I'm saying, these indigenous women and girls are murdered 10 times more than us. You know what I'm saying? Well, as our women, According to the Native Women's Wilderness Organization, the organization also cited statistics from the National Institute of Justice report that said more than 4 out of 5 indigenous women have experienced violence and have. So these women on these reservations, you know what I'm saying, if there's not any type of protection around them, they're vulnerable. And that's what we say about all Black and Hispanic women. And now we also have to go ahead and include these Native women because now it's being more addressed. It's being more exposed that they need our help too. So as Black and Hispanics, we need to go ahead and try to protect them in a way also, because we've been there. We've been there. We already been through all those ordeals also, just like them. So, since we're a family, we gotta somehow, some way, be the protection of each other. Not just worried about, I'm Hispanic, so I'm just gonna worry about Hispanics, or I'm so-called Black, so I'm just gonna worry about Blacks. Like, we have to make every other tribe our responsibility to protect them, man. It takes a lot of, people coming out of the world with their mindsets and stuff, and starting to understand that, like, we need to do something different, because we're the most hated on this earth. Blacks, Hispanics, Natives, we are the most hated. There's no way around it. Nobody wants us around, but we're still there. But that's because we're the best thing out here. We're the most favorite out here, even though we're at the bottom of the barrel. So let me see. The rates of violence against Native American women are the highest among any socioeconomic group. The statistics become even more staggering when taking into account that Native American women only make up 2.2% of the population of women in the U.S. and 1.1% of the total population. That's horrible. You know what I'm saying? That's horrible what they got to be going through. If anybody needs some aid and assist right now, or some backup, it's got to be these Native reservations. And a lot of times, you Native reservations, you got to reach out to us too. There's numbers out here. Reach out to us. Invite us in. Let us help you. Let us help you just like you can help us. We're stronger together. There's no different. The same things that the so-called Black man been through is the same thing you're going through now. We know the trauma that you're going through. And we really got to go ahead and reach out to one another and really try to do some type of aid and relief work amongst each other. We can't just disregard the fact that innocent men, women, and children are being brutalized and still attacked in this current day and age. We can't do it. We got to go ahead and step in. And, men, you're going to have to be men. You're going to have to go up and, have to put your body on line, your life on the line for other people. You know what I'm saying? It's not about time to be selfish because you want to be there for your family. Other people need you too. If you're a man, you put your life on the line for everybody around you. You know what I'm saying? So, we got to come off that mentality that saying only our family matters, you know what I'm saying? Or, only the people under my roof matter. No, it's not like that. You got to worry about the next people. You got to worry about your tribes. You got to worry about the other Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives. You got to worry about each other. That's the only way this bond could ever work. While everybody else is trying to destroy us and wipe us off the face of the planet, this is the time where we have to go ahead and conduct ourselves more honorably amongst each other. Men respect the Black men, Hispanic men, and Native men. Come to some agreements and work together, work honorably with each other. Women, help out the other women, work honorably with other women. You know what I'm saying? Let's raise these kids in a way where, they're more aware of what's going on, and let's teach them better. It all comes to the fact that we're the ones who have to step in for the ones who are failing us at this moment. With that being said, I got a couple scriptures. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we think about everything that happens to us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives, and it's really because of our curses, because of our disobedience is the reason why a lot of these things happen to us. And, and it only happens to us at the masses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not talking about it just had, little Shirley or little, whatever her name, little white girl, died and all that stuff. No, it happens to us by the groups. You know You know what I'm saying? And it's been overwhelming now that you know it gets swept under the rug. You know what I'm saying? Like they got 3 people in question for this little girl's death, and for her to be dismembered and her torso and the head in one bag, and then, you know what I'm saying, her arms and the leg. Come on, man. They can't even find her arms right now. That's a horrible thing to. I feel like that's like one of my little cousins. You know what I'm saying? Like that's messed up. That's how you got to feel when something happens. You got to feel like it happened to you, like it happened to somebody who's in your house. That's the only way we start being more affectionate towards each other and being more accountable for each other, is when you take them burdens of other people, no matter if they're in another state, no matter if they're in your state or if they're in another state. We have to hold ourselves accountable because we could have protected them. We could have somehow came together and did some good amongst each other to where, you know, no outsiders could have ever hurt us like that. Okay, so I'm going to get a Deuteronomy 28:1. So let me get it. 28. I'm going to share it on the screen too. So let me get a second. Once it comes up, I'll read it. All right. This scripture. There's Deuteronomy 28:1. And this is what I've been talking about from the beginning. And it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken. So this, and it shall come to pass if you will listen diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, if to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. All right. So let me get back right here. So give me 1 second. I'll put it like that. All right. So this scripture right here basically telling you that if you do everything I say to do, if you walk in the ways I told you to walk how I told you to walk, talk how I told you to talk, treat each other how I told you how to treat each other, that I will put you on high above all other nations that are on this earth. You know what I'm saying? This earth would have been yours because you're the most decent person to run this earth. So that's where it begins. The Deuteronomy 28 blessings and cursings. This is Deuteronomy 28:1. After 1 to 15 will tell you all the blessings you would have inherited if you did everything in the law, statute, commandments as the Lord provided for you. So that's 28:1, right? Now I got to go ahead and go to 28:15. So Deuteronomy 28:1 to 14 will give you all your blessings. And this right here, this will show you all. Let me see. Let me go and put this up so that way everybody can read it. All right. But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken, if you don't want to listen, if you want to be hard-headed, if you don't want to even acknowledge these law, statutes, commandments that I put forth to you, if you will not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day. So basically, when he says this day, it means this day moving forward, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All right. So let me go ahead and. Okay, so this is what that's telling you right now. If you are not living and doing these law, statutes, commandments, you are gonna be in a horrible position, not only in society but within your life too. You're gonna make everything harder for yourself. So you have to go by these curses. I just told you from Deuteronomy 28:1 that you will have the blessings, and then 28 and 15 will show you the curses that you'll be under if you don't want to do it. So you have the pros and you have the cons. The Most High in Christ gave you how you say basically two things. Either you're gonna listen or you're not gonna listen. So you have the blessings, you have the curses. So because we failed, our youth, and with this little 14-year-old girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, since we failed her, or since the tribe failed her, you know what I'm saying? Like, things happen. And some of the curses, I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the first curse that I feel like, kind of affected. See, 28 and 19. Well, I'll bring up a couple, so don't even worry about it. Let's get it. All right, so let's get it and present this real quick. I know it takes a little bit of time for me to go ahead and click all these buttons and stuff, but remember, I'm by myself, so I'm just trying to do it as best as I can. It's not easy. Go ahead and all right. So the scripture states, this is the first curse. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in. So cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. Right? So what this means right here is, once you're born, because of your ancestors doing a lot of wickedness and not living up to the law, statutes, commandments of the Lord, once you're born into, a bad circumstance. And we've seen that plenty of times when you look at Hispanic history, and how when Christopher Columbus went to Puerto Rico and stuff, and babies were even getting cut out the stomachs of the women and getting dashed against stones. The little boys were getting killed because they didn't want the little boys to rebel when they get older. You got the little girls who they were taking, they'll assault them. They'll assault the women. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's a curse from, even entering in this world. So cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in the world, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. A lot of times when you're older, you feel like that's the only time that, you're leaving the earth. But this little girl is 14 years old. She had a long life to live. And, imagine her end came so fast. At 14 years old, you don't ever expect that something that brutal could happen to you, because, she didn't have really no protection around her. So, cursed shall that be when they coming in, and cursed shall that be when they going out. There's no curse for her when she went out. Was, man, they brutalized her. They chopped her up. They put her in garbage bags, and they threw her on the side of the road like she didn't matter. That's horrible. That's a curse that comes on Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives. And in this particular case, this Native girl, that's horrible. That's one curse. Let me go to 20 and 25. And I'm just going through these curses so that way you understand why these things happen. It wasn't her fault, but we're getting judged as a group. We're getting judged as nations, which is the Black, Hispanics, Natives. We're getting judged together. It may not happen to you in particular, but it's going to happen to somebody. Let's see, 25. I'm going to go to 25. All right. Deuteronomy 20 and 25. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. So while the whole world is watching, and taking reports and, putting this little girl on the news, the Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before all thy enemies. Not everybody cared about this little girl. I'm sure, Asians didn't care. I'm sure that Arabs didn't care. I'm sure the Africans didn't care. I'm sure that the white man definitely don't care. Because if it don't involve them, they definitely don't care about nobody. Sometimes they don't even care about each other. You know what I'm saying? The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all kingdoms of the earth. And that's what happens to us. You know what I'm saying? We get scattered. We get beaten. We get beaten, robbed, and then we get scattered to wherever they feel like we should be. We get displaced. That's why you got natives on reservations. That's why you got all of our Caribbean islands that are in disarray right now with poverty. That's why you got Mexico, who even though it's a big country and stuff, they're still kind of like deprived and not doing too good. And then you even got the Mexican babies who are here that even their parents, and whether the man, woman, or child, they're getting deported. If not, they're going to these concentration camps, and a lot of people ain't really paying attention to that. We're getting displaced. That's what it means by getting removed into all of the kings of the earth. I mean, they'll take a family from here and they'll split them up, and some will be at the border and some will be at Guantanamo Bay. You know what I'm saying? They always displace us in a way where it's just inhumane. You know what I'm saying? They treat you like cattle. The next one I'm gonna go to is, let me see. I was trying to go to 26. There's another curse, and thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air. When they unalive this young girl, Emily Pike, 14 years old, in Arizona, they unalived her, they chopped her up, and they put her on the side of the road. And what are the fowls of the air? Usually the crows, usually the birds. They left her out there hoping that these fowls of the earth would go ahead and pick at her and basically dismember her body even more. She was put out there like a waste when she could have been a very, very influential person in the future. They put her out there and they dismembered her and put her out there like she was just nothing, and it's horrible. And unto the beasts of the earth, because also if you think about the beasts, if it's not the birds that are coming to pluck at the meat that's just laying around, you also got coyotes, you got wolves, you got everything else that are around there that might go ahead and pick at that bag and probably would have absorbed the rest of the girl's body. Luckily, it was found in time. And no man shall fray them away. And nobody's gonna care. They're gonna see that bag on the side of the street, and they ain't gonna care what's in that bag. They're gonna see dogs eating that bag, or a coyote or wolf or a pack of wolves and stuff, and they ain't gonna care. Oh, look at, they're getting a meal, not knowing that there's a whole important person in that bag that should never have been going through what she went through. All right, so that's 28, 25, 26. I'll even go further. You want to hear some more curses? Let's go to some more curses, all right? Because I feel like this was a horrible thing to happen to this girl, and we failed her as Black, Hispanic, and Native tribes. We have failed her as a group, and you should feel like you lost your own your niece or your cousin right now. But y'all don't care. Y'all just worrying about what to eat later on. This is what happens to us too. When a white man had came over here, he came over with his Christianity, his Catholicism, and he said either you take this information and make it as your own, or you could die. So a lot of people died because they didn't want to conform to Christianity or Catholicism, and there were some people who didn't want to die, and they just, said let's just do what they say. So this was a curse that happened to Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives. And in different time frames, the same way. You just have to identify it in a way where you can grasp how it happened to all of us in a similar way, shape, and form and manner. Okay, so Deuteronomy 28 and 36, the Lord shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee. That means like your leaders, you know what I'm saying? Like even when we were you know what I'm saying, even though we had prominent figures, like like tribal chiefs and all that stuff, and your important person throughout your group. So that's what they mean by king, the head person that's usually around you, or who's in charge of the manner of people around you. So the Lord shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. Another nation was going to come and invade on us, who we didn't know, or nor that we wanted to know their ways. And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. And that's what they came with. If you think about Christianity and Catholicism, that's when you got the wood, which is the cross. Whether you got the fake idol of Jesus on it, or whether it's just a cross, that's that wood figure. That's that idol worship and stuff. And then you think about stone. You think about the Islam. Islam is basically the cobblestone. And that's what the sub-Saharan slave trade was involved in. You know what I'm saying? It was Caribbean people, it was Hispanics, it was natives. It was a process where, the sub-Saharan slave trade were just sending people back and forth, depending on what the needs were. If they needed goldsmiths, if they needed farmers, if they needed agriculture, whatever, that's what they did. If they needed women over there, they just felt like it was a commodity. It was like trading cards, but it was actual people. We're livestock to them. To them, we were nothing but a price, a bargain for them, a bargaining chip for them. So, when it says wood and stone, that's Christianity, Catholicism. When it says stone, that's anybody who was in the sub-Saharan slave trade and they were shipped to the Arabs, and they started learning their ways over there. So those were the curses that we took upon ourselves because of our disobedience to the Most High God. We didn't do right from our forefathers, and we broke our traditions. That's why we ended up in the position and the conditions that we are today. We're too hard-headed for no reason. We're too stubborn for no reason. We got to get that right. But all we could do is go out here, and hopefully people will grasp to the teachings, ask their questions, and keep coming for more information, so that way they could go ahead and feed that spirit in the right way. So that's 28 and 36. I'll go to 20 and 37 too. Go to the next one. And that word, a proverb and a byword is like now Puerto Ricans are Puerto Ricans instead of Boricuas, or before that they were the tribe of Ephraim. The so-called black man, they're called the N word. You know what I'm saying? They're called African American, Afro American. Those are bywords. Those are things that are not of your authentic culture. It's like you lost your identifying marker of who you are. So and even the tribes like Apache and all those things, they also have a biblical tribe. They lost that, but just like I said, a byword is something that you were once, and people put different meanings on the people now, like Hispanic, like Latino, you know what I'm saying? Like all that type of stuff. But I think you get it. So and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, where the Lord shall lead thee. So no matter where we're at, you know what I'm saying? Like even when they call Hispanic spics or beaner, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, these are bywords. These are we're an astonishment to the world because everybody wants to be like us, want to walk like us, talk like us, dress like us. Everybody loves everything we do, but they still want us at the bottom of society. And that's how they treat us. They treat us like garbage. And you know, we're content with being the lowest when we should be, you know, at the helm, at the top. But until we get right, this is where we're gonna be at. So, you know, it comes to show you that we have to learn a lot more in order for us to help our communities and our nations. All right. Let me go to 28, 40, and 45. And I'm going through these curses just so you can see that these are the things that happen in particular to the masses of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. This is just the truth. It's not like I'm making these things up. All right, so let me get up. Let me get this 45 and 50. 45. All right. All the way to 68 is all the curses that we were going to endure. You know, so I'm just going through them with you, and maybe everybody will understand why this happened. These things happen in the news to us, or why this happened to this 14-year-old girl. We really have to go ahead and take more responsibility for what we're doing because these things only apply to us. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee. So think about it. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee. So basically, these things are going to happen to you and shall pursue you, which means it's going to follow you and overtake thee, which means it's going to overtake you no matter what. So it's not only going to be on you, it's not only going to follow you, it's not only going to overtake you till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. That's the point. You know what I'm saying? Like we keep saying this over and over again. You can say that, you know, you can live your own life the way you want to. That's not how this works. If you're a particular group of people, which are so-called blacks, Hispanics, natives, you have to conduct yourself in a way the Lord sees fit, not how you see fit. Who are you? You made every wrong decision and you're just like, you don't know how to govern yourself. So you need others to tell you the right things to govern yourself, whether you're a man, woman, or child. You need to be taught again. You can't just think that you could continuously make mistakes and it's okay. It's not okay. You know what I'm saying? Like you really got to go ahead and change these disgraceful ways you're doing things. All right, so let me go to the next one. Let me go to 46. Let's see if that one applies to us. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. And we've been going through generations of these curses. That's all this means right here. All the captivities, all the unalivings, all the sexual assaults, all the beatings, everything was upon us because of these curses, and we seen it generation and generation and generation. It's just what happened to us. You know, we're generationally cursed because we didn't, at one particular time, we didn't know better. We didn't have the records, or we didn't know how to, our ancestors didn't know how to read or write. So we can understand that. But now that we got this information, we can go ahead and do better moving forward. But it takes a person to want to change in order to do it. You know, nobody can force you to do it. You got to be a willing participant and want to do it. I'm gonna go to the next one, 28. This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 47. Because thou servest, because thou servest not the Lord with thy God with joyfulness. That's the Christian church. That's the Christian and Catholic church right there. You think just because you go somewhere that the Lord is with you. The Lord ain't with you just because you go somewhere. You have to do stuff in order for him to be with you. You have to do what he says. He commands you to do things. Okay, I'm going to do it. Why? Because I fear the Lord. That's the reason why I do it. You want to eat pork, but the Lord says don't eat pork. So guess what? It looks like you can't eat pork. Because if not, all these other curses are going to be upon you, your family, and not only that, but the rest of your nation. You know, it trickles down to everybody. And, you know, when they go to these, when a lot of the Christians and Catholics go to these churches and stuff, they think that they're clapping and they're singing and stuff, and that's all it's about. You may be having a good time, but right there, that's just a sideshow. That's what you call, damn, what's that called? Damn, them sideshows, you know what I'm saying? Like in New York and stuff. I forgot the name of it. That's Broadway. That's all a show. That's what I meant. That's Broadway right there. You know what I'm saying? You just going there to have show. You got your flyest gear on, and you think you're something because you got some nice clothes on. But knowing deep down underneath them clothes, inside that skin, you are a piece of garbage. You are a sinful, lustful, horrible person. But you think because you represent yourself with these clothes that you're a person of God. You're not. The way you go ahead and show that you're doing and making the Most High God happy and making him joyful is if you are applying yourself to things that he requires you to do. Not doing just whatever you want to do and just being like, I just all I gotta do is believe. You can't just believe. That don't make no sense. There has to be work involved in order for him to have favor upon you. So because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, you don't want to do the right thing. You want to go ahead and do whatever you want to. That's basically what it means. Because if you love the Most High God, you will go ahead and be like, you know what, I'm going to change these ways because it says it right here. I don't care what that pastor says. I don't care what that Catholic priest says. I'd rather do this right here because I know that if he requires this, then that's the bare minimum I can do. So if it tells me I can't go ahead and shave my beard, I'm not gonna shave my beard. If it tells me I can't eat shrimp, pork, crab, pork, lobster, all that stuff, I'm not gonna do that. If I can't celebrate these holidays that America celebrates, then you don't do that. It's the little things that mean the most to the Most High God. These are not amazing things that you can't do. These are things that you just don't want to do. And I could go through more, but I'm gonna go to Zechariah 11, and there's more. Trust me, there's more. Zechariah. I go through scriptures all day, and you know that applies to us that might help us and stuff. It's just that people want to listen. Zechariah 11 and 5. From verse 5, slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. That's what happens when, you know, we got the bad leadership. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter if it's like a black or Hispanic or native governors or chiefs or you know, your leadership within the pastors of the Christian Catholic churches and stuff. You know, they don't care. They're there for profit. They're there for the money, the fame, the glory, and for you to look at them like they're the best thing on earth, knowing they're just a dressed up piece of garbage. It's not about what you wear; it's how you conduct yourself. And a lot of people don't understand that. They see the exterior, like Puff, like how you say, like Puff Daddy. You will look at him and be like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? He makes good music, this and that. But internally, he's a garbage piece of person. He's still a brother, but he's still a garbage piece of person because he got a whole bunch of demons on him. You know what I'm saying? But everybody will look at him and be like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? He's a great figure. And then all of a sudden you hear all these bad things about him. Now everybody's like, oh, now I see it. Now I see it. Same thing with these pastors, like TD Jakes. He's a disgusting bastard right there. We heard the stories about you, TD. There's nothing you can hide that or you can say to make that right. You know, it's you care about your luxury cars, you care about your luxury clothes, you care about that nice home, but you don't care about the people who are flocking to you for understanding and the right way to conduct themselves and do things on the earth. So that's what it comes down to. You know what I'm saying? As long as they're rich, they don't care about who comes and sees them. All I'm going to tell you is, oh, yeah, you just pray on this. Don't even worry. Hey, Lord will still be with you. Pray on. That's all they say. When if you come to us and you be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm having a problem with smoking. Well, stop smoking. Oh, but it's hard to stop smoking. Well, the Lord said ain't nothing hard for you to do that you can't do. He said all these laws, statutes, commandments are not grievous. You can do it. Oh, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? When I get stressed out, I just got to have a square and all that, or I got to smoke this blunt. Well, you weak. Oh, how can you say that? How can you talk like that? That's what people don't want to hear. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that approach from us. That approach to where you can do it, but you're the one being weak and you can't do it. You can't do it. And it's not even that you can't do it. It's just you don't want to do it. You're so weak that you want that square. You're so weak that you want that blunt. You're so weak that you want that little bag of Coke or crack. You don't want to change your life. You want to do what makes you feel good here. You want to go ahead and how you say, like, corrupt your body and be a piece of garbage here and act like the Lord's going to be with you. I'm not going to tell you the Lord's going to be with you because you're taking that crack or you smoking that weed. If the Lord says you ain't supposed to do it, you ain't supposed to do it. And every time you come to me, I'm going to tell you the same thing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to be smoking that weed. You still smoking weed? Man, bro, you got to stop that. Hey, Lord ain't going to be with you if you keep doing it. Oh, yeah, man. Every time I come, you talking, man, well, try to fix yourself. Oh, yeah, I still eat pork chops. You ain't supposed to be eating pork chops, man. You ain't supposed to be eating pernil. You ain't supposed to be eating chicharrones. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of ways where people easily get offended because you're telling them the truth. And, you know, in the Christian church, it's easy. In the Catholic church, it's easy because all they do is tell you things that it's okay. It's okay. A lot of times somebody got to be there as the mediator and be like, it's not okay. You're not supposed to be doing that. There's nowhere in the Bible that says that, you know, you can go ahead and break these commandments. In fact, let me see. I'm going to go ahead and get it right now. Excuse me 1 second. I'm going to fight it. And I'm telling you, all these commandments, law, statutes, commandments, they're applied to you for life throughout all your generations. I'm looking for a scripture real quick. Excuse me 1 second. Let me see. In 1 second. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Okay, yeah. We're going to go to Baruch 4:1. It So like I told you, I'm by myself. So just give me some type of time to get it together. We're gonna go to Baruch. Oh, yeah, I gotta go to this one right here. Baruch 4:1. Oh snap! Oh. This is what the church don't teach you, and this is what I've been trying to say for the whole day. And this is my brotherhood to everybody out here. I don't say these things just to say that. I don't say that to be the bearer of bad news. I don't say these things to go ahead and you know, make you angry or upset anybody. The Lord told me to tell you these things, and I'm hoping it resonates with 1, 2, 3, 100 people if it could. I'm telling you, there's no way you should be breaking any of the law, statutes, commandments. And if you don't know where to find the law, statutes, commandments, that's when you start asking questions to the brothers in the ISBK. You know what I'm saying? There's a school, and if you go to isbk.com, you could always find any school that's nearest to you. But with that being said, I will never tell you to do something that's against the Most High's, the Most High in Christ's law. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never tell you to do anything against it. That would be wrong for me to do that. That would be like me telling you, run that red light, and you know you're going to get into a car accident. Go up that one way. That's what I'm saying. If I'm telling you break the law, that I'm telling you things that are not right, that are inaccurate, that are harmful to you. I don't know how else to tell so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives how not to do things unless they're willing to come in here and ask these questions. We're all, when I see the brothers at the school and stuff and around the earth, because we got schools everywhere. When I see how much love these brothers got for their own people and how much they go out of their way for their own people, which are blacks, Hispanics, natives, I'm telling you, they love their people. They love their people so much that we're battling these Christian pastors, that we're trying to battle every type of Catholic priest, anybody, Islam, no matter who it is. We're trying to battle everybody because we know that these things were real deceptive to a lot of our people and was really instrumental in bringing our downfall. So with this, I got Baruch 4:1. This is the book of commandments of God and the law that endureth forever. So if there's the law that's forever, the law is non-negotiable. That's why I had to bring this out. The reason why we have so many problems and we are sloppy. The motherfucker. The reason why we're doing so bad is because, we're not keeping the law, statutes, commandments, and that's why all these curses keep adding up to us. You know what I'm saying, and multiplying, and we can never catch up to doing the right thing because the masses are being real disobedient, and the few are standing strong. But the few are the ones who actually fear God, who fears what Christ's judgment is also. You know what I'm saying? Because Christ is our king. You know what I'm saying? We got the Most High God, and we got Christ who's our king. He didn't die for you to be a piece of pork eating, shrimp eating, garbage type person. He didn't do that. You think he went through all of that so you could just be a disobedient, just a disobedient person? You know what I'm saying? Like it don't make sense. And I don't know how somebody can make it make sense like that in their own head. And me being in the truth now, it's like I didn't understand it back then because I was so brainwashed. But when you got brothers over here telling you that, you know, these laws apply and stuff, it'll make sense. You may not like to hear it, but it will make sense. You just gotta go ahead and attempt to try to reason with the Most High God who put this in front of you and never changed this. That's why I had to bring out Baruch 4:1, because this is plain and simple. This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever. All that keep it shall come to life. That means all that keep it, all these precious things the Lord will provide you with. That's just how it works. You know what I'm saying? He'll have mercy on you. But such as leave it shall die. Sometimes you die spiritually. Sometimes you die, you know, a regular death. You know what I'm saying? That's how this happens. You know what I'm saying? Dying spiritually is you're strung out on drugs on the corner and you're looking like a zombie. I've seen it. A lot of my family members were real bad heroin addicts. You know what I'm saying? Some closer to me than you think. You know, and you know I don't put my business out there, but I'm just saying it's a hell of a thing to see when somebody don't have to die, but you can see the death in their eyes. And you know, for a person to see that stuff, you know, which we all possibly seen it in front of us, where's the change at? Where can we go ahead and intervene and be like, how can I help more for myself and the people around me? How can I go ahead and get them off these drugs? How can we build up a community to where, you know what I'm saying, we're not relying on, you know, these multi-billion-dollar companies, you know? When do we come together and build like our own infrastructure? Even if it's in the beginner stages, at least it'll be ours, you know? At least we could help out each other. At least we could charge each other prices that are decent, you know? It's a hell of a game to play, but I also want to reiterate that Baruch 4:1 says, this is the book of commandments of God and the law that endureth forever. Key word is forever. So I don't care if it's from Genesis all the way to Revelations, these laws apply in your lifetime. If you don't know where to find these law, statutes, commandments, that's when you need to go ahead and get in touch with somebody in the ISBK, and we go ahead and show you exactly where to find them, what to do. If you have questions, we can answer those questions. We love this work so much that we're lending our hand to you, so that way you could come in and you could ask anything you want to ask. That's really all I can say about that. You know, it gets exhausting trying to reach out to people that are so hard-headed and rebellious that, you know, you feel like you're just talking to a wall. All right. Well, we talked about that one story, and you know, it's getting a little late right now. I was trying to go over the other story and stuff, but this little girl, this 14-year-old girl, Emily Pike, is the main story on here because no 14-year-old child should have ever been, not only her, but I know there's more out there, but this story was, you know, recent, and she should be acknowledged for what's going on, because as a 14-year-old child, you never expect them to have to go through these type of things. You know what I'm saying? Going to living in a group home, away from her mama, away from her family, you know, and then walking somewhere and then somebody's just taking you and just dismembering you. It's just a horrible, horrible thing to even hear. So I know the other story is kind of horrible too. When this G Money LIL Ronnie and I think his daughter had got shot also, you know what I'm saying, fatally. Let me see if I go through this real quick. I think I got it. Give me 1 second. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll probably get through this real quick. All right. And I got this off TMZ, so give me 1 second. Take some of these things off, maybe it'll work a little better. All right, so the headline is G Money, LIL Ronnie murdered with 5-year-old daughter attack caught on video. It's crazy. So there's the guy right here. See it. All All right. So let me go further. G Money Lil Ronnie and his 5-year-old daughter were shot to death Monday in Texas, and dramatic video shows how part of the murder went down. Police say the violence erupted at 10:45 a.m. yesterday at a car wash in Fort Worth suburb of Forest Hill, where Ronnie and his daughter Armani were seated inside his stationary car getting washed by machines. Suddenly, cops say two men jumped out of a four-door Kia. Wow, out of all cars, you'll never expect a Kia to be having some gangsters in it. But suddenly, cops say two men jumped out of a four-door Kia and walked up to Ronnie's vehicle with guns drawn, pumping bullets into the hip-hop artist and his little girl. That's horrible. Let me go ahead and play this real quick. Okay. I'm gonna play it back. Hold on 1 second. That way we can see this. That's Lil Ronnie. Okay. That's crazy. All right, I'm gonna get back to the story. But I can't really tell where the child got shot at, but I can see where they were chasing him. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Yeah, I can't see where the child got shot. So video circulating on X showed the gunman chasing Ronnie around the car wash, and Ronnie eventually lying dead on the ground near a red car. Cops say they're reviewing surveillance footage that was leaked online. Police say the suspects got back into the vehicle and drove off. Look at all these bullets right here. Look at all these shells. Man, they let off a whole bunch. Officers raced to the shooting scene minutes later and attempted to save Ronnie and his little girl, but they both died. Police say they've ID'd one of the shooters and have issued a murder warrant for his arrest. As for a motive, police are still investigating, but say it was definitely a targeted attack. Ronnie enjoyed mild success as a rapper, cultivating about 40,000 Spotify listeners per month. He is perhaps best known for his 2018 collab with Go Yayo called Hood Fame Illuminati. Well, just like I said, I don't really know this brother, but for a child to have to be unalive at the same time they're looking for this man, it's under our curses. It's under our Deuteronomy curses. You know what I'm saying? Because of a father living a certain lifestyle, a child had to go ahead and be severely, taken away, in a way where it should have never happened like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why, if you sell drugs, if you live a lifestyle where you unaliving people and stuff and smoking weed and drinking and doing all type of adultery and stuff, expect some stuff to come back to you. You don't know when it's going to happen. And when it does happen, you hopefully don't have your children with you and these things happen, and it's horrible what that little girl had to endure because, just like I said earlier, these kids, they have a whole life in front of them, and because of the judgment calls that their parents made, it's kind of like the parents failed them. But then it's not only that they failed them, but us as a community, as nations, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native, we kind of failed each other because these things shouldn't even occur like this. But we don't know what this man really was about, what he did on his free time. So I really can't judge that matter. I'm just upset that there had to be a child, that had to be taken away because of somebody else's status or conduct. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close out this live. Thank you for coming and rocking it out with me. I know that my internet been kind of like messed up, but this was a great podcast. I just feel bad that, our Native sister, who was only 14 years old, had to be dismembered like that and had to hear that report on it and the video and stuff. It was a horrible scene. And then this brother right now who just got unalived with his daughter and stuff, it's a horrible time right now for natives and for Blacks and Natives and Hispanics right now. So it's it's heavy on your heart sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You don't never want to see these things. You don't never want to hear about these things. But moving forward, we definitely have to go ahead and get our act together. With that being said, definitely contact the ISPK. You go to ISPK.com and definitely get in touch with a school that's nearby you. And just ask questions. You know what I'm saying? Anything that can help, just ask questions. We're here at your disposal. We do this off the harder, work that we do and off our own financial, our own finances. You know what I'm saying? We're not getting funded by anybody else. This comes all from us. And with that, we have Passover. Let me see if I got it because I want to do the promo. I don't want to forget nothing. So let me get it. Just like I said, I apologize about the feed and the internet. It's been acting up lately. All right, let's see. All right, let me go ahead and do it like this. Okay, the lamb slaughter is on April 9th, 2025, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Smith Family Ranch at 1950 East Atlanta Road, Stockbridge, Georgia, 30281. We have the kids party on April 10th, 2025 at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Urban Air. And that will be at 1970 Jonesboro Road, McDonald, Georgia, 30253. Then we have General Muhammad Scripture Breakdown class later on in that day, April 10th, 2025, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Atlanta Cosmopolitan Event Center at 4600 Legend Place, Douglasville, Georgia, 30135. Next, we got the Hebrew Academy graduation, which I'm going to be a part of too. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing. But it's been a lot of, if you're in the Hebrew Academy, you had to endure a lot of things, and we have that Hebrew Academy trials coming up. Get through it. Let's knock this out. I know it's not going to be easy, but be prepared for anything because it's not going to be easy to pass these trials. So Hebrew Academy graduation ceremony is April 11th, 25, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Atlanta Cosmopolitan Event Center at 4600 Legend Place, Douglasville, Georgia, 30135. And let me see. Black Party is April 11th, 2025 at the Atrium at 5479 Memorial Drive, Stone Mountain, Georgia, 30083. We got the Passover, and the date is April 12th, 2025 at 5 p.m. to 12 a.m. Marriott Marquise, 265 Peachtree Center Avenue, Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia, 30303. And then you got the Feast of Unleavened Bread at the main hotel, April 13, 2025, from 6 to 12 a.m., 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. Cortland Grand Hotel at 165 Cortland Street, Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia, 30303. And with that, that's all the announcements. Everybody pay your tithes at ispk.com. Pay your Passover fee. Your Passover fee is $200 per adult, 18 and over. Anybody under 17 is free. But then we go to ispk.com, pay your $200 Passover fee, pay your tithes. And with that, I want to say shalom.